played it up as a big game coming in, and to have that kind of performance, I guess, what's the mood? I know what the mood is, but I mean, what did you guys say after the game?
Well, the biggest thing I was trying to get across is if you're made out of anything, hopefully you're really down about how you played, and this feeling stays with you, because it'll be how you feel the next time you play like this. You'll be done for the year. We just didn't have enough guys bring the energy and understand what kind of game this was going to be. I mean, this was not, you know, the intensity level that was needed and the ability to handle some adversity in this kind of game. We didn't have enough guys ready to go, and that's disappointing in a lot of areas, because we've really improved in that area. We actually tied it in the second half, and once they came back and made a little run, we struggled to execute. We didn't make shots, we didn't make free throws, and we didn't defend. So it really snowballed in a hurry after cutting their lead down and tying it. So I'm disappointed that we got back to some bad habits, and we got to do better. Got to do better. And this whole week, I want our guys to remember this feeling, because, you know, it's one thing to lose a basketball game, but it's another to be in position after all the stuff we've kind of been through all this year and do some good things at the end of the year against a big-time rival, a team that got us pretty good at home, and come out and not play with the energy needed. It would be one thing if we played really, really hard and our body language was really strong and we just lost the basketball game. We didn't get that tonight. So we got to get back to the drawing board in a hurry this week and stay hungry and understand we got one game. That's all we got. That's all we got.
Was there anything in particular you felt like kind of changed from a execution or X&O standpoint after you tied it at 33?
You know, it's a good question. I think our guard play has to be a lot stronger, and we just didn't have enough guys coming up with the loose balls, you know, blocking out consistently. I think you get caught up in emotion too much. You forget sometimes exactly what you're supposed to do from a defensive standpoint. We had too many breakdowns on both ends. Too many breakdowns. You know, their 1-3-1 was very effective against us both times we played them this year. The first time we turned it over, but we still didn't make them work and make good passes, and that's guard play a little bit. That's guys being active in the back line, and but defensively, I thought their aggression level on the glass and keeping balls alive and those types of things, I thought, you know, they got us tonight. They got us tonight, and that's also very, very disappointing.
How tough was it for you to, you know, obviously with Tang and Warren getting in foul trouble, to decide kind of when to get those guys in and out, you know, with Warren, just because we can get foul out?
Honestly, Tang actually came in and gave us a spark in the second half, and that's when we cut the lead down and tied it. And you know, the big three tonight, we really didn't have it. We really didn't have it. It's a tough line to look at in terms of shot production, free throws, rebounds, all of that, you know. And I told the seniors they really needed to be warriors tonight for 40 minutes. You know, we've put together some halves and we put together some spurts tonight, but we didn't have it for 40 minutes, and that's including the seniors.
You hit on energy and body language. You know, if they had been good and you lost, you don't necessarily feel the same way. But those have been kind of themes that have come back consistently throughout the season. Is there anything you can pinpoint about why, you know, those things haven't, I guess, become more consistent for you guys?
Well, they have become more consistent. That's why we're winning games, and that's why, you know, last month and a half has been a whole lot more on the positive side. For it to rear back, I'm sure Middle Tennessee State's wondering, when things aren't going well at Houston Baptist, why do we not respond? It's not. We're not the only team in the nation that struggles with that in adversity. And I wish I had a magic formula to figure out exactly where it is. But you know, experience plays a big factor. You know, Jamal Crook has been very, very good, but tonight his body language got back to some old habits, and they played a physical basketball game. You know, that's the that's the scouting report sometimes on a guy, that you got to be physical with him and they'll wear down. And if you get it to a half-court game, you know, what will they do? And, you know, there's different things that you have to adjust to, and we didn't adjust tonight. And that's the most disappointing part. The body language part, even when we tied it, there was definitely more energy, but not to the point that you want it as a coach with what's at stake. Not just the seed, but the rivalry. You know, losing to these guys, it's, you know, it makes me sick, but that's life right now, and we have to change it. You know, no one's going to feel sorry for you. You got to go out and do it. And once again, if we had gone out and really give them our best 40 minutes, I wouldn't be sitting here as disappointed.
When you guys tied the game, they come back with an answer, like I'm sure you expect them to do. Went off on an extended run there, but from there, it was still a 10-point game, I believe, something like that, 9-point game with about 10 minutes to go. You guys didn't, I mean, it maybe scored 5. Well, what kind of happened in that last 10 minutes?
I think, you know, one, I think we were a little tired, for sure. Guys were, you know, just seeing their faces and seeing, as the game went on, they looked a little bit fatigued, but we didn't stay with the game plan. We didn't make extra passes against their 1-3-1. We had some extra pass opportunities. We're missing free throws. Defensive assignments on the other end, giving up easy baskets, and it went from 10 to, you know, 18 or so in a hurry. But you look at those 3 areas. If you're messing up on one, maybe, you know, but all 3, that's tough. That's tough to rebound from, and it's disappointing. But because when you got that close, I didn't feel like even in a 10-point game with a lot of time left, the guys, I think it was 8 minutes, I didn't feel like the guys were really understanding. A lot of basketball game left, a lot of possessions left. We can do this. Talking 3 or 4 possessions, 10 points. But we had to do it on the defensive end, and that didn't happen.
You guys have had some big wins and some rough losses over the last couple of years. Where does this loss rank, given the situation you were in going into the game and how well you've been playing?
You know, I can't go over the top on that in terms of saying this is, you know, the worst loss ever. But it's just disappointing because you put yourself in position, and you got your fan base that's back involved and loud and getting into it. You got people that came down to this game, and we're feeling good about things. And momentum is a big part of what going into the tournament. You know, how you going into the tournament. I know in tournament play, you know, it could have been a 3-day stretch. Now it's potentially a 4-day stretch. So I'm disappointed in that regard. You know, the matchup, this is a good rivalry, and it's a good rivalry because we're close, because it's heated. I want our guys to value it. I want our guys, that's what I talked about after the game, I want our guys to understand and have that bad feeling in their gut the rest of this week. And, you know, hopefully you get another shot at it.
You guys put a lot of importance on the bye. It's not there now. What do you do this week, and what's the approach, I guess, you take going forward, knowing that you got
one
big
game.
games?
We got one game. That's it. And we're playing Monroe, correct?
Yep.
You know, we'll obviously focus on the scout, but tonight, same thing. It's not what Middle did, it's what we didn't do. And that's what's important knowing in tournament play. We have to go out and make it happen. No one's going to give it to us. I'm sure Monroe will play an excellent basketball game. There's a lot at stake. This is their last game if they don't play well. So that's all we'll talk about this week. It'll be the scout and focus on us executing, us playing as hard as we can for 40 minutes. And if we do hit a rut, how do we respond? Because if you're going home if you respond like you did tonight.